Hey guys, I'm back. I am going to be doing today a remake of a pumpkin spice soap. I made this 2 years ago and I finally sold all of it. That was sort of back before I was making a lot of fancier soaps, and it wasn't the prettiest, but I was kind of trying back then, but I still didn't really know what I was doing. But I was really happy when it sold because I've been wanting to remake this now that I'm kind of better at what I'm doing, and I also wanted to add some espresso fragrance, so it's going to be a pumpkin spice latte. PSL for short. I'm really pumped. It smells so stinking good in here. There's so much good stuff going on in this soap. Here, my olive oil, there's a big plop. You can see that chunk. That is some pumpkin puree. I put 2 ounces in there, so I discounted my already discounted goat's milk. I bumped it. I didn't do as heavy of a discount as I usually do because I don't want it to get too hot or anything. But I discounted it a little bit to buy 2 extra ounces to make up for that liquid there. And as you can see, I wanted to show you this. If you've seen in my other videos, I'm getting like weird little speckles in my goat milk soap because this, whoa, dog noises upstairs, apologies. There's like little chunks of fat in the goat's milk that just get kind of chunky. I haven't been able to thaw the goat's milk ahead of time. I just kind of don't think of it, so I'm doing it frozen like that. I'm going to strain it out here, blend it all together. Geez, my baby monitor's beeping already. I'm going to go ahead and fix that. Sorry about that. But I'm going to add my goat's milk to my pumpkin and olive oil. The super fatting is cocoa butter, natural cocoa butter, for an extra little bit of sweet, tasty smell. And I've got some colloidal oatmeal I'm adding into that. So let me go ahead and first plug my baby monitor in, and then number 2, go ahead and blend this up, and then I'll check back in with you guys when it's time to blend up my colors and whatnot. Alrighty. As you can see, there's some chunks that I strained out. Definitely some chunkage. And I can only assume that is when I froze my goat's milk in little ice cube trays, like, it definitely had some like crackling on top because the fat rises to the top, and I think the fat got freezer burnt. I don't know. That's just my guess. I don't know for sure. I don't know if I can know for sure. It hasn't affected the soap to not strain that out yet. It hasn't given me any sort of trouble other than I just don't like the way that it looks. So, I don't know. Either way, I strained it out. We do have some nice pretty pumpkin flecks in here. Here with some orange mica and some stabilizer is my spicy pumpkin-y fragrance here. That's going to be the majority of the colored part. I had a little bit of espresso fragrance left, and I mixed that with some brown oxide. I like when my fragrances discolor, I like to know ahead of time what's going to be that part. I like to know ahead of time. So that's why I added a little bit of brown to that. I did add some stabilizer to this fragrance because it's got 9% vanilla. It's still going to darken up, but I want a little bit of the orange to show through, so I left a fair amount there. So let's see. I'm going to go ahead and pour a little bit for my espresso. And here's my pumpkin portion. I'm going to leave some of this uncolored. Ooh, that's nice and full. I'm going to do sort of a variant on an in the pot swirl. That was awfully full. I probably shouldn't have made it this full. Oh well. Just because I want some of it to stay uncolored, and it's going to be sort of a tannish on its own because of the pumpkin. But with orange and brown swirls in it, this gives it some sort of funkiness. I have my gold mica little dripper bottle too to do some gold for the swirls on top. Yeah, I shouldn't have filled this quite this full. hopeful. Stir my espresso here a little bit. I didn't have that much espresso fragrance, that's why I didn't put that much soap in there. It smells so good. Now it's still the beginning of August and we're not having pumpkin lattes available yet, at least not here. Maybe where you are, I don't know. But we gotta get this ready so by the time those are available, it's all cured and everything. And that's a light brown so far, but it is going to darken with the fragrance. But that, when I'm cutting into it, I can kind of know what my swirls are going to look like. I just like to know. Almost swirled all the way. Oh my goodness. Okay. So here's my uncolored bit. Get everything off the sides for the most part. Dumping it in. I'm kind of doing like an X. So there's the orange. I'm going back and forth with that. Oh, it smells good. And I'm going to do the other part of my X with my espresso. I don't know what this is going to look like. It's probably just going to be all swirled up, but that's fine. I'm just kind of making it up as I go. Now I can stir this a little bit more now that it's more empty. Kind of get the last of it all swirled in. Both fragrances behaving nicely, as you can see. Alright. The last of that in there. This is all going to be just kind of randomly swirled. That's fine. That's fine with me. Okay. Alright. Let me do one, oops, yeah, let me do one quick boom with that, just because. I'll pour it into my mold. Very nice. Yeah, it's going to be mostly tan soap altogether. I don't expect there to be much differentiation in the colors after the cure, but just a little bit of difference is really all I want. That stabilizer I put in, I definitely don't expect it to fully prevent it from discoloring, just a little kind of a boost. I just want a little bit of this orange to show. I don't want the whole thing to be brown. I just don't. Tiny bit left in my cup, I think, yeah, barely. 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 Oh, there's the air conditioner. Whoopsie, I bumped the camera stand, sorry. It's an accident. Right, like that. There's still a tiny bit more in my beaker I want to get out. Don't waste any. Tiny, tiny bit. Alright. Let me wipe my glove off here. Let's hit it with some gold. I don't know if I want to swirl or if I just want to leave it. I might just leave it. I kind of like it like this. Yeah. Lots of sparkly gold on top though. Oh yeah. I'll have to put something on the sides of my mold too because it's like wanting to bow out. There's just the tiniest bit, so I'll have to squish it in. drips over here. A little bit more right there. Alright. There we go. This might need another day. I think this might take 2 days before I'm able to cut this. I'm not sure. But I'll cut it when it's ready. You guys can watch it right now. I'm going to attach that to this video. So, yeah, I'll see you right now. Hey guys, it's been 24 hours here in real-time land. And I'm ready to cut into PSL. This loaf, now I do expect it to darken some in some areas. This loaf smells so incredible. I can't even, I literally can't even. Like, that's how, but yeah. This is the epitome of a white girl soap, let me just say. Such good coffee smell has remained, and the spicy pumpkin goodness is just like, pow, it's in the face. It smells so amazing. I want to eat it. This is probably, this and my banana split soap, which I blended a bunch of fragrances for that. Those two have been the tastiest smells I've ever come up with, like where you really have to stop yourself from wanting to eat it. So let's see what's inside. I'm real curious. They're probably going to be subtle swirls because it's all kind of similar tones, but I'm still looking forward to seeing what we've got inside here. Very subtle indeed. Not noticing any discoloration outlining so far, so that's interesting. You can see the orange plus the brown and then the uncolored there. Pretty pumped to keep going. Whoops. Strung my cutter string there. Well, that's kind of interesting. There's the camera. Come on now. Annie, you can do this. Here we go. Very interesting. Different than my other in the pot swirls have turned out because I did it differently. You could tell. I thought it might still all kind of look the same. I also didn't pour back and forth. If you remember, I basically poured in the end and let it fill up. So even that can make all the difference. I'm pretty sure with something like in the pot swirl, it's very hard to get the same effect twice. I really believe that. That's pretty cool though. Almost layered, like. They're smiling at me. Go ahead and stamp these now and plane them. Well, I don't need to plane them, but I will bevel them in a couple of days. That one's kind of cool. It almost looks like a Halloween cat with a really skinny middle, and there's its hind legs and tail. I mean, that's a stretch, but cat head, legs, middle. Yeah, I don't know. I'm using my imagination, if you can't tell. I don't think I'm going to get those funny speckles, because I strained my milk out too. Those little speckles of freezer burnt milk, I don't think that that's gonna be a problem because I strained it. So I'm gonna just have to strain it from here on out if I don't want the speckles. They're totally harmless, it's just more of an aesthetic thing. Oh wow. Here's the close-up. Handle getting it in there for you. Yeah, this is very interesting swirls that this one created, that's for sure. It stayed a lot more fluid than I expected it to as well during. Probably could have gotten away with my slab mold and some Eber style swirls with this, but there's something about pumpkin, I just feel like a loaf mold makes the most sense. I think these are going to look even cooler once it darkens up too. I know that coffee is going to darken up a lot. My espresso fragrance. Seeing animal shapes in this too. Weird. That little spot's cool. The brown and the white. Little wiggle that goes up. Very nice. Even when I made my espresso con panna soap and I infused those coffee beans in the oil, I made the oil brown to start with. It's still discolored after that with the fragrance. It's still discolored. So, I mean, got more dark basically. I knew it was going to be brown. Discoloring has such a negative tone to it, I think. I don't find that to be negative at all with the coffee fragrance. It's supposed to be brown. It's pretty. Yeah, I think these turned out real interesting. Really does smell like a creamy pumpkin pie, or even like a pumpkin custard, like pumpkin creme brulee kind of, but with coffee in there too. Whoops, I bonked you, sorry. Alright. Ooh, probably the swirliest one yet. You can tell this is the end where I was pouring from, so the swirls are getting crazier because the soap moved through that area more. I like it. Actually got a 9th bar out of this. I adjusted my cutter, so with my tall and skinny mold, I need to make them a little bit bigger than an inch, so I get 8 bars, and then for this I wanted to do an inch, and I must have been just shy of an inch because I got an extra bar. It's real cool right there. It's like an orb in the center here. Like that's kind of orb-like. These little, the brown and white wiggle that's happening there, I really think it's cool. Yeah, I got a 9th bar. I'll end up, because that's the end, I'll end up running that across my planer to just sort of even it out. Let me line these pretties up here. This is a PSL, Pumpkin Spice Latte. A fall favorite, that's for sure. I hope you enjoyed watching. Yeah, this soap has olive oil, goat's milk, natural cocoa butter, colloidal oatmeal, real pumpkin, and pumpkin spice and espresso fragrances in there. And I blended those myself. Pretty nice, pretty nice. I'm happy with the way it turned out. Let me know what you guys think in the comments, and I thank you for watching.